We have UFC flyweight Cody Durden back on the show. Cody, how are you?
I'm good, man. Just living life, enjoying the holidays.
Yes, sir. Well, it's nice to see you again. Hopefully, Thanksgiving and Christmas time has been nice for you and your family. A lot to get to today, man. You booked a fight here with Muhammad Mokaev, a huge prospect making his UFC debut. You got a new contract with the UFC, and most recently, you got that big win over Aori. I just want to start with that and get the tough topic out of the way with first, and that was obviously the post-fight comments that were said. Looking back on it now that we've had a little bit of time to digest that and everything, would you have changed what you said? Like, what would you like the people out there to know about that?
Man, the media, they'll take whatever fits their narrative, the clickbait narrative, and my family, my friends, people that know me, my teammates, they know who I am. And yeah, man, I mean, it is what it is. I said what I said, and I stand by it. I just simply meant he could go back home to wherever he came from. So
You said that there was maybe a little pre-fight animosity. He wouldn't shake your hands at the weigh-ins. Did that kind of aid into how you felt? Maybe a little anger towards him.
I just felt disrespected, and it's the fight business. We're not in there to be friends. We're in there to feed our families and go home with that extra check.
For sure. I guess the one thing I was really curious to hear about what you had to say is a lot of the backlash that your colleague fighters said, basically calling you racist and whatnot. Did that bother you? Like, what is your response to all of that?
Nah, man, I know who I am. And just like I said, my family, my friends, my coaches, they know who I am. So it's very diverse here in Atlanta. So, I mean, yeah, I'm not a racist. That's out of the picture, man.
Have you had to deal with a lot of social media backlash, people maybe DMing you? Has that been an issue at all?
Yeah, man, I get a lot of DMs every day. The good, the bad. I mean, there's a lot of wild people out there.
Let's talk about that fight, man. You look great. You got that big win, a UD over Aori. How pleased are you with that performance?
Man, I had COVID. October 4th, I tested positive for COVID, and then I wasn't able to get back to training until October 20th. So I had roughly, 4 weeks till fight time, 3 weeks to, try to get back in shape, and it was tough, man. It was tough. But I showed up. I did the best I could, and man, the cardio wasn't there. So I think it had a lot to do with COVID. Because I usually never have issues with cardio, and it had a lot to do with the pace I pushed. So we live and we learn, and we just move forward and get past it.
Do you feel like that maybe played into you not being able to finish him? Maybe your cardio not being where it's used to be?
Yeah, man. I mean, dude, I don't know if you had COVID, but it sucks, man. It sucks, and I had a lot. It was hard on me. Me and my wife caught it at the same time, and it just attacks your lungs so bad, and yeah, but dude, I still showed up. I could have easily, pulled the COVID card and got out of the fight, but I always show up. So, I showed up and did the best I could.
What kind of other symptoms did you and your wife have? Was it just more respiratory?
Man, it was it was a little bit of everything, night sweats, fatigue, body aches. Uh, it was more lingering in my. That was like the third stage of it was my lungs, man. It like moved from my body to my lungs, and man, it was hard at practice. There'd be some days I'd go to practice, and I just couldn't finish the practice because I couldn't breathe, and but you know it did get better though. It did get better towards the beginning of November. The second week in November, it got a lot better. But when you're in there against a guy who's trained to kill, it's not quite the same.
Yeah. Oh, I got to imagine though, it must make you feel even better knowing that you were able to go in there and get the win, having to deal with all that adversity of having the effects of COVID. That must make you feel like, you know what, you're on the right track to being the best version of yourself.
Yeah, exactly, man. And it makes me want to pinpoint that issue even more, and attack it, and that way, no matter if it was COVID or if it was just the pace I was pushing, we got to attack the cardio. So that's what I've been doing.
And you also had the ACL surgery, a ways before the fight. Did you feel any effects on that, or did you feel pretty much as good as you could after having that surgery?
Yeah, man, that was 10 months since I fought, since I had ACL surgery, and man, my leg feels great, dude. It feels 100%. There's nothing wrong with my leg right now. So
That's great. Well, so what has life been like for you since, man? Has it just been staying in the gym, training, and spending time with your family?
yeah, I've been training, but I haven't been training like I haven't started fight camp really. I just been going in, train, in at 2 hours, and leaving. Nothing specific, just trying to learn and grow. About 6 to 8 weeks out, we'll start breaking down the game plan and putting something together.
All right. And you obviously got this new UFC contract. Tell me a little bit more about that. Is it a four-fight deal?
Yeah, man, 4 fight deal, and I secured my place, and it feels good. Feels good, man.
Yeah, that's very exciting. And with this opponent, Muhammad Mokaev, I mean, there's a lot of hype behind this kid. He's a young kid. He actually called for this fight on Twitter. He made the comments about the what you said post fight and said, should I smash this guy in my debut? What do you think about this matchup? Like, do you like this for yourself? Do you feel like this is a dangerous matchup, or do you feel like you're going to be just the better, more seasoned fighter in there?
Man, I think every fighter in the UFC's, they're good. There's no bums in the UFC. It's the biggest, best promotion in the world, and I think he's gonna bring it. And I love being tested. So, uh, yeah, we're gonna train hard, train smart, and we'll see who the better man is.
When you look at his skill set, Cody, what does he do best? Like, where do you feel like he might test you the most come fight night?
Man, overall, he's a great fighter. Striking, wrestling, jiu-jitsu is okay, but you just got to be prepared for everything when you step in there against a guy like him. He's young. He's not well, he's experienced, but at this level, it's a lot different. So at the pro level, and yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it.
Now, this will be March 19th over in England. Have you ever been there before? Are you excited to make that trip?
Yeah, man, I haven't been there, but I'm excited. I'm excited to fight in England and go to a different country far away. I'm not really excited about the flight, but uh, yeah, man, I'm excited to meet new people and fight in front of a crowd.
Do you know how long of a flight it is from where you're at?
If I'm not mistaken, it's 12 to 14 hours, somewhere around there. Yeah, I got to be flying first class, man. I can't be in economy.
Oh, yeah, that's tough. Well, I just came back from Florida, and on our way back, we had a layover in DC. When we were making our ascent, something happened with one of the wings. We had to turn around and make an emergency landing. I've never been so scared in my life, man. I thought the plane was going down. I don't envy you with the 12 to 14-hour flight, unless I'm sleeping. That'd be tough for me.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to the jet lag either. So
Now, do you
yeah,
know, I know this fight's a ways away, man, but do you know who's going to be there with you come fight night, like in your corner?
because of the vaccination status and everything that's going on, I don't even know if we're gonna fight in London with this new strain of virus going around, and but we'll see. I have an idea who I'm gonna take, but it depends on if they're willing to get vaccinated and willing to make the trip with me.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that. There's probably I would say a high chance that maybe this fight could be relocated to the Apex in Vegas. right? I mean, would you be upset about that, or are you kind of looking forward to making this trip?
Well, yeah, I think I'd be a little upset. I was very apprehensive about getting vaccinated, but when the UFC offered me this new contract and the money, I just had to do what's best for me and my family, and had to take one for the team. So now I got vaccinated. I got to get vaccinated again, and I think 28 days at the end of January. So yeah, man, if I do all this and then it gets moved to Vegas, it's like, dang, but at the same time, if it gets moved to Vegas, that's in my favor. So
All right. Well, either way, just as long as the fight happens, I think that's all that really matters here. As far as the holidays goes, and Christmas and all of that, are you going to be able to let loose and maybe eat some good food and have a drink or two if you want, or right now you pretty much dialed in, getting ready for March 19th?
yeah, man, I devoted and told my wife and my friends and my coaches that the last day I was drinking was last Saturday. So yeah, I won't be doing any drinking, but I'm still gonna eat some good food, eat some chocolate cake, and enjoy the holidays.
Do you feel that this matchup with Muhammad, that you're going to be kind of like the villain in this? Are you expecting people to be rooting against you here in this next fight after what happened with the post fight comments with Aori?
Well, it's not about the post fight comments. It's fighting in his backyard. That dude's a star over there, young prospect who's really made a name for herself fighting a bunch of amateurs. So I'm looking forward to going over there and being the villain and getting my hand raised.
How do you see this fight playing out? What's your prediction?
Man, it's gonna be a war, and I can't wait till he sees his own blood, because that's what I'm coming for: kill or be killed. And yeah, man, may the better man win.
All right. Well, again, March 19th in England, Cody Durden, Muhammad Mokaev. It's going to be a banger of a flyweight fight. It's always a pleasure talking to you, my man. I appreciate you giving me this time here, and I believe it's the first interview that you've done since the fight was announced. So thank you for that. Before I let you go, as always, I want to give you the floor. Tell people where to follow you on social media, and if there's anyone to thank, the floor is yours.
Man, I'd like to thank my sponsor, Barber Orthopedics, Triad Mechanical, Eat Clean Bro, Jason Ferguson, and everybody else who supports me. Let's go.
Make sure to subscribe to the LowKick MMA YouTube channel for all the latest news, event previews, and interviews with some of the biggest stars in MMA.